cj5 tub sitting on a m38a1 frame with a 302 conversion. That motor is pretty much done, but there's plenty of parts that can be taken off of it to stick a different one in there. I'm pretty certain that that's a cross flow radiator out of something GM. You gotta love the baling wire. Like the throttle is baling wire, the radiator retaining baling wire. It's also sitting on a block of wood to raise it up, but still the snout of the water pump has destroyed that radiator. We got a 60s GM clutch and brake master with the hanging brake pedals, or well, clutch and brake, and like this little stubby accelerator pedal. You can see the holes where they had a center tunnel. It's missing one shift lever for the transfer case, and it has an advanced adapter 4-speed shifter on that old top loader with like stamped steel bell house. And then they notched the fuel tank to accommodate the shifter, I'm assuming. All in all, you pull the Bondo off of it and there's metal underneath it, except for small places. And they've redone the floor pans on that side and this side. They didn't do under the toolbox, and the back has that rot, and then back in the corner under there is rotted out. The original bumper is just bolted to this new piece of angle iron. There's a couple of things that lead me to believe that it's on a military frame. For one, we go underneath here, you can see that is a machine gun turret mount. And then over here are the military style tie down points. And then it's got the military style shackles. So it could be something else. You gotta admire the block of wood. I think the floor pan used to come down further, and their solution to level it out was to stick a block of wood in there. Either that or they were trying to lift it to give the V8 some more space. But it's got the Warren Lock-O-Matic hubs on 15-inch rims with some really nice, just premium quality 33s. Don't get me wrong, I'm sure they were fine back in the day, but now they're kind of not. And the you didn't know it, but you too are in the toolbox of this cj5. And you know, you can see that they welded metal over the rust, and then it rusted out the metal they put over the rotted metal. That's why you always got to take out the rust, because otherwise it'll just continue to rust. Who knows, probably completely rotted under there, but there again, it's pretty solid there. And same here. The military Jeep would have had a bubble here, and this would actually open for the 24-volt system. I don't like that. They took and put a battery in the fender well and ate up all of that clearance. Like, tisk. But they hacked out the buckets and they did all kinds of stuff just to try to make this work. It's got those brackets on the hood on the underside. That's for a shovel. They'd mount a shovel up underneath the hood. And then the frame's not all jacked up. There's another one of those military tie-down points. Still haven't figured out what is what yet, and it may take me a while to get it to a point where I feel confident in its sturdiness. But I've seen way worse, and it has potential to be something great. I am pretty confident that there are mice living inside of this engine. Didn't have the oil filler cap on, but it's got crossover style steering and electric coolant fan, and who knows if any of that works. I know the brakes weren't locked up, which leads me to believe that they're broken. Here's a bunch of stuff. They had that metal pan covering up the rust right there. The roll bars actually got the rust in the shade, but there's pretty much a rust spot right there in that shadow. And it's not happy. But there's that piece of tin they had covering that, the carpet, and the rear of the driver's seat, where they actually cut off the original seat bracket. That one's really happy right there. That'll hold at least 1 pound of air, I'm sure. And then here is, I was sitting on top of the carburetor, but it doesn't have the bottom plate, and we found bits and pieces of a chrome one. I'm not sure where they got to, but this here is the driver's seat, and you can see right here and right here they hacked off the back of the original one, and they bolted like some car buckets to it, and the car buckets, well, the car bucket seats ate it. And that one there is the passenger seat, and it has the original back, but then it still has that car bucket seat just welded to it. So that's where we're at on this. I got another one of these motors, a 302 actually, sitting on the floor, and we might just put it in here and see if we can get it going, and then address all of the problems, because there's a lot of problems with putting a 302 in your early cj5.